Good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I am again in the sunshine. I love waking up in the morning and sitting in my living room, enjoying the sun as it rises slowly. What a wonderful way to start a morning. If you're so fortunate to have an east-facing window in your house, it is one of those opportunities to wake up to this glorious sunshine. And I know it kind of throws shadows across my face because of the window's, um, you know, frame. So as I sit here this morning drinking my coffee, I don't know about you folks, but my favorite thing to do is drink coffee. And over the last 6 weeks, because today is April 16th, 2025. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Over the last 6 weeks, I have gone on a journey of health. I am extremely healthy. I have no health issues. This is due to a positive attitude. This is also due to genetics, although I don't always hold to that. Don't always hold to the belief that if a family member was diagnosed with breast cancer or cancer of the colon or pancreatic or any type of cancer, then if it was your mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, on and on, that you would be disposed to that situation yourself. I don't hold to that. I don't think the genes are operated, or excuse me, I don't think that's their function. I think we have our own progression through our life, and just because a family member might have had a diagnosis does not mean that I am going to as well. The medical profession will sometimes lead you to believe this. I am not a professional in medicine. However, I've always held to the belief that a holistic homeopathic approach, naturopath approach to my health is my first step. I don't go to the doctor as a rule unless I break a finger or a toe or maybe, something annually. But that's not why I'm talking with you today about my doctor's opinions. It's because I'm just coming out of a 6 week, almost 8 week journey through rearranging my diet and the timing of my diet. I am considered a faster. I fast, whether intermittently or in a 24-hour period, 36, 48, 72. I have acquired that lifestyle because it works for me. And I've listened to professionals who have done it and who I trust, and I take their advice. One of the pieces of advice that I heard was the first thing in the morning when you awaken to just sit quietly. And if the sun has not yet started to rise, still below the horizon, you can sit in that window and look out, if you have that window to look out of, and just drink in that reddish glow that starts to come out when the sun rises, and just bathe in it. Just feel that new energy of the day. And wait for that cup of coffee for 1 hour because of the cortisol effects. Again, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not an expert in that. But I've started to adopt these new practices. And I do wait an hour now for my first cup of coffee. It has something to do with insulin resistance that I've been learning about, and autophagy, which is what your body starts to do when you're in a fasted state. Again, no expert here, just sharing these situations I've been going through the last 6, 8 weeks. I don't remember when I started. And so the rising of the sun, I have this desperate need. Almost every home I've ever lived in, almost as an adult, if I don't have a east facing window, I get squirrely. I didn't know why I got squirrely, meaning I just had to see the sunrise if it was a sunny day. It had to be part of that. And also, subsequently, the sun set. So in my home, you see a window behind me. That's a west facing window. It's not very big, but it's plenty big for me. And I have other west facing windows too in my home. And I have these east facing windows. And it's very important for me. I have this inner guidance, this inner voice that compels me to be part of the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun. I live in Minnesota, and so there are months of my life, as all Minnesotans know, where during the winter months, we don't have a lot of sunlight, meaning daylight. And so we appreciate it when it is sunny. I do anyway. I'll speak for myself. In the summer months, we get plenty of daylight. We get, we're in the northern part of the um, United States, so we do get more of that sunlight. Sometimes, I know on the 4th of July, the sky is still glowing at 9:45 p.m. And so on the 4th of July, they have to delay those fireworks so we can enjoy them as the observers down below. Although I want to share with you, in the last 5-10 years, I have avoided the fireworks show. They're too loud. They do upset my system. I don't enjoy them anymore. I don't really enjoy the crowds gathered around um, being entertained by the fireworks show. I don't know exactly why. I can't pinpoint why. I don't question it though, because my innate sense of myself, my intuition, guides me through life beautifully, gracefully. If I push back on that inner voice that says, don't go that way today, go this way, or why don't you call this person today? Just those little niggling voices that I listen to. And there's some people out front walking past looking at my new garden flag. So I had to enjoy the kids enjoying the bunny flag I put out in celebration of Easter week. And so that voice that tells me to sit in the sunshine in the mornings is that voice that I listen to. And this is my soul. This is if it's not my higher self, who is me, it's the ascended master, who I am becoming, as we all are, especially if you are listening to that inner guidance that we all have. Some of us have been quite asleep, blinded, mute, deaf, dumb, not in a derogatory way, but in that closed off from higher self, from soul, source, from their divine spark, because no reason why. I won't even try to reason that out. But some of us feel more compelled to walk the life of spirituality. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean I'm always loving. That doesn't mean I'm fully accepting to every situation I'm in. What it means is that I value my inner world. I value my imagination, my creative tendencies. I value the fact that I am a unique being made, some say in the image of God. However, I know I am God. We are all God because we have a piece of God within us. There are characters on our planet. Step out of that narrative for a moment and into a new one. There are characters who I have come to realize that are on our planet here as more of a program than an organic being. An organic being has a soul, has a DNA. Animals, I truly believe animals have a soul source. Every single species, even the the plant kingdom, the rock kingdom, they all have their source, their divine source. Otherwise, they would not be part of Earth. But there are characters I have come to believe. I cannot prove it, but I have heard about these. Some refer to them as NPCs. Some refer to them as just soulless beings. I can't put a label on them, but I know I have encountered them. I know I have met a being who operates more from a program than their heart. And so I can't speak for them that they would understand what I'm saying, but I know that you do. If you're drawn to my channel, if you're drawn to the kingdom of the dragons, if you are drawn to that little voice in your head that says there's a heck of a lot more to this world than what meets the eye. In fact, what meets the eye is the 3D world, and 3 dimensions out of infinite number of dimensions isn't a lot. So we can rest assured that my ability as a creator means that I have the ability to create a life that I choose, that I desire. I am a creator, so I can manifest. The best way to manifest something that you truly desire is through imagination. You imagine that you're already there. You imagine that you're with the perfect partner. You imagine that you are walking in the most beautiful field of flowers. You can imagine your health being shiny and perfect. You can imagine anything. If you can imagine, then you can create. And if you can create, you can manifest. So here I sit in the sun, and I pretty much cannot see the screen in front of me because the sun is so bright in my eyes. But that's how I do it every morning. I drink it in. I let it just flood in through my eyes. I'm a sun gazer in the morning time when the sun is quite low on the horizon, and I stare at the sun without my glasses on, and I just let it flood through me because there are light codes flooding our planet as I speak. They're coming through the sun, from the central sun. I cannot explain to you in this video what the central sun is, but many of you might have already heard the term and you understand the language in the syntax of the esoteric knowledge and metaphysics of the central sun of our system. Some claim is the star Sirius. As I sit here drinking in the sun, I will plan out my day. My day is going to be beautiful, filled with grace and love. And as I sit here and hold my little blue dragon, my grandson gave me this, isn't that cute? I will determine that I am loving light. I will ask Creator, I will ask my soul self, how can I best serve the light today? What is the task set for me today? where I can be the most loving presence I can be. And I sit with that and I hold that in my power as long as I possibly can until it's time to get ready for work, because I do work. I have a job. I'm a gardener. And this is the time of year when we get really busy and we clean out all the gardens and we start planning out all the flowers. I've already put my order in. I put them in January, because if I don't get what I want. I order thousands and thousands of annual flowers. I plant shrubs and perennials. And, you know, that is something I manifested for myself. I did. I longed. I don't know. I didn't know what it was. Because if I started to design it the way I thought it should be, then I get in the way. So if you can step out of the way and let spirit work for you and with you, then the most perfect opportunities present themselves, and it most likely will surprise you. This job fell right into my lap, right into my lap, and it happened to be in April of 2020 when things were starting to shut down. Um, One area that wasn't shutting down was an outside country club golf course, and it was synchronicity and grace that led me to meet the superintendent. And when he discovered I knew what I was talking about when it came to plants, that connection was made, and I've been there ever since. And it's just evolved into this gorgeous opportunity and position that I don't think I would have ever been able to design. I just let it go, and I didn't I didn't question it, and I didn't turn away, even though it seemed a little daunting at the time. I went forward with it, trusting that I would be able to handle whatever challenges came my way. And so that is how I face the day. I know that I am being guided and protected. I know that my dragon, my crystal blue aquamarine dragon, who I'm like in her world. I could pretend that Crystal, my aquamarine dragon, is so big and vast and broad and expansive that I am in her world. I'm within her. She is within my soul, that is as as wide as a person can imagine. That's the world that I live in. And so today, as the day goes on, I want you to remember two things. First, play well together. We are in a school, let's say. We are on in the playground, and we are advancing quite quickly, quite quickly. And also, when you are out and about in the world, don't forget to smile. Smiles are magical. They what's the word? I can't think of the word. They change a person's appearance like that. And you can change someone's outlook in their own energetic field by just sharing a smile or a nod of the head, just acknowledging them. There are millions of people on our planet who are not acknowledged for their beauty. So I acknowledge you for your beauty. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'd like to just say, here's my dragon who says, have a wonderful day. There you are. And if I can see the button to say good day, I will turn that off. Namaste.